right? So what we do is we show the transaction details and the other details for that reference sequence number that we clicked into on the same page so far. And related transactions grid, we show the test. Correct?
Right.
Now,
Right. Yeah. Seems
at that
your voice.
reference
I missed you for. Your voice for like couple of minutes in between. When we show to last what you spoke is like when we show regarding that transaction reference number.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible now, Krishna?
Yes. Yeah. So
okay.
on detail screen we have like
related
right? Transaction on transaction details we have related transaction and then we have transaction reference in that.
Yeah, so that is what we have today. You know what we do today, right? But the only slight difference with that grouped approach is going to be the related transaction grid is basically becomes your credit debit grid, right? It's not called related transaction anymore.
Right.
It's basically all your credits and debits that fit under this transaction destination reference number appears here.
Right.
Agreed?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Right? Now, what we show there can continue to be the same. That doesn't need to change, right? But a slight, and accordingly, the audit trail, earlier we were discussing yesterday also, whether to show it at the sequence number or the destination sequence number, right? But now in this approach, it becomes much more clear. It has to be at the destination reference number because we are showing the overall activity completely. Correct? That's what we are showing here. Right? So what, or we can play around a little bit, right? For example, let me open my screen, and I think so we should do this because this makes it easier for us in managing the actions, right? And 1 second, let me share my screen. So, Krishna, my screen is visible, right? I mean, Prakash.
Yes, Arvind. Yes.
So here we started with the event details, right? So when we clicked on the summary, we clicked on this particular reference number and it opened the details page, right? Now, here we are showing the transaction details, we are showing the additional transaction details. So what we can probably do is we can move this grid to the top, just below the event details, right? To kind of show these are the different debits and credits for this reference number, right? Now, when they click on a particular cell, right, or row, then we open up the transaction details, the additional transaction details, and the audit trail for that reference number and transaction sequence number in question. Everything remains the same, it's just that we are kind of laying it out a little differently. And the idea here is, when they come into the details page, we show them these are the different legs that are involved in this transaction. If they want to see more details, they click on it, which will open up the values that we are showing here. So everything remains the same. The only what columns get populated here is the same. What values are shown here is again for that individual transaction sequence number and the destination reference number, right? That also is the same. Nothing changes. The only thing is like how we are laying it out, because now the view of the details page is at this overall destination reference number, right? Not the individual transaction sequence number. Is the point clear, Prakash? If you can update the summary and the details prototype to this, right? What we just discussed. I think so that is what we will end up doing when we introduce the grouping. Is that clear?
Sorry, I was talking on a mute. Yeah. So, Arvind, just to clarify, what we are saying that event detail stays where it is. The only thing is that additional details or whatever we have like at the bottom, right? So the entire thing comes on top, right? And there we'll be showing debit and credit things, right?
The related transaction comes on the top, right? Next to the event details, the related transaction, the grid comes below the event details. So what we're basically saying is for this event, these are for this event and for this reference number that you clicked into, these are the different credits and debits that you show in the grid. Whatever you are showing as the related transaction. So related transaction was showing everything but what you clicked into. That is our current approach.
Right.
But in this approach where we are grouping by the common reference number, what we are saying is, for that reference number, these are all the different credits and debits.
Okay. So we will show two entries, one debit entry and one credit entry for that. For each of these.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. Right.
Correct. So we'll show two rows, one debit and one credit.
One
right?
credit. Right.
Now,
right.
Again, whatever we are displaying in the grid today will continue to remain it is. So whatever that is being shown in the summary page for the debit and credit is exactly what is being displayed in this grid, which again we can retain, not an issue.
Okay.
So from an API point of view, nothing changes there also, right? Because it was the UI which was masking that transaction sequence number which they clicked into from this grid. The UI is returning API is returning everything for that reference number basically, right?
Right.
It's just the UI implemented it because we said not to show it, right? So we shift this related transactions to the top below the event details and we call it as credit debit details or something, right? Something like that. It's not related transactions anymore. It's basically credit debit legs of details, right, of the transaction. So it will have everything. Now, each of the row represents similar to our current row implementation in the summary page. Agreed?
Right.
Each of the row in the grid is similar to what we have in the summary page today in our current implementation. So when they click on one of the row, we open up the transaction details, additional transaction details, and audit trail for the row that they clicked into. It's in the same details page.
Okay.
When they click on another row, the transaction details, the additional transaction details, and this for the row that they clicked into.
Okay. So by default, we should show for one, and then the rest of the things they can keep on changing as they want.
Exactly.
Right.
So nothing changes, right? It's just rearrangement to a small extent. There is some impact in the summary page, right? But otherwise, we reuse our current approach and relabel some of the sections here, right?
Okay. So, Arvind, just one question. I mean, how much data do you see would change based on what we click on in terms of transaction detail, additional transaction detail, and audit? Really? I mean, once you click on
again,
audit.
it's from the now what we are going to bring is today so these sections are getting populated at that individual transaction sequence number row, right? That's why it will change in the sense once we see the actual data, right, we might know better. But conceptually, this is the flow that we will take, right? That transaction details or additional transaction details or audit trail, in our current approach, we are implementing at the reference number and sequence number combination in question, right? Even in this approach, we are saying do the same thing. It's just that we are laying it in the same details page. We give them an opportunity to check at all the details, whether that be credit or that be debit.
Right.
Earlier, they have to come back and look at the debit. But here, we are giving them a view in a single space where they can look at the overall transaction in question.
Right. Right. Get that. Yeah. So field name wise, anything we need to add or
Nothing.
do any
Only thing,
changes?
no, nothing. As of now, let's not do anything. The only thing that I would ask us is move this audit related transactions to below the event details. Keep
Right.
it open and
Right.
rename that section instead of related transactions. It should be credits and debits or something like that.
Okay.
Whatever
Debit
you want to
credit
call
detail.
it, right? To
Okay.
indicate
Okay.
that debit credit details, right? For
Correct.
this transaction reference number. That's basically what we are trying to show here. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll update it. Arvind. Yeah. Sure.
And what this allows us to do is there is a message reference link in the one of the additional details section, correct?
Mm-hmm.
In that additional details, there is a message reference. Now that message reference is an external payment that is tied to this. This external payment doesn't come for one leg, it comes for the transaction. It can be multiple payment messages can come for the same transaction potentially, meaning
Okay.
partially, like you use, there is a $100 transaction, you do 2 installments, 50-50, two
Okay.
payments, right?
Okay.
So that section comes for this whole transaction reference in question, right?
Okay.
So we have an opportunity to extend this approach to make that into a grid or make that specific to a particular credit debit, like something like that, right? So
Okay.
that's something that we can have an opportunity to do. And again, the idea here is the user doesn't have to go back and forth to see what is the detail, what is the credit, what is the debit. They come here, they see everything for that transaction, right? Which is the whole
Yes.
purpose here.
Yes.
So in
Absolutely.
one space, they see everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because the status of that transaction changes altogether, right? So there is a logical grouping that updates the statuses of the transaction. And that logical grouping we are calling as destination reference number, but it could be something else also. We don't know, right? But there is a logical grouping that is out there. You cannot just update a credit and leave the debit hanging out there. It cannot work that way. Right? So that logical grouping view is what we are bringing in here, and also in the summary page.
Sure.
So again, this is something again that we need to include here. And I know yesterday I spoke about where we spoke about getting a separate view for the event sub account. I know Nora indicated she probably doesn't want that, right? So from an add event delay, remove event delay, if we go the approach that we just discussed a little earlier, right? That will also be good. So we need to kind of include that also in the prototype so that we can get it confirmed from Nora, and also
Sure.
have Krishna and team take a look at it so that they can start incorporating that as well.
Sure, Arvind. Yeah. Sure.
Krishna, any
Yeah.
questions on this? Krishna, are you on mute?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. Yes, that's right, Arvind. Thank you. So,
And one thing, Krishna, on this grouping, right, we should talk to Swaroop. I will drop an email. So basically, they have implemented this transaction grouping based on a certain logic, right? How to logically group these credits and debits into one unit of work, right? So we should try to talk to them to understand what is their logic. So we should kind of apply that. So that should be taken care by the API, right? So the API, when it is returning, it should group these. So we should work on that aspect as well.
yes, sure, Arvind.
Arvind, one thing I want to just check, like when we are showing add event or remove event details, right? Delays. So is there anything specific field names that we need to have something like that? So not sure if we were able to identify.
No, I would say like so when you say add event delay field name in the summary grid, you are saying?
Right.
No, see, that is an action, right? So the actions is going to allow them to say whether they can take add event delay or remove event delay. So maybe there is a criteria in which add event delay can be applied. So without an add event delay being performed, a remove event delay is not going to come into the picture.
Absolutely.
So for
Absolutely.
remove event delay, Kavya has given the condition saying that if the transaction status is payment delay or payment delay projected, that's when remove event delay can be applied on an on a combination that was in which the add event delay was applied. So even yesterday Nora was saying, if as a user I had added the event delay at the sub account level, I cannot come and remove the event delay at the bucket level. I have to come and remove the event delay at the sub account level only. Right?
Okay.
So,
right.
so the status is going to tell us whether payment delay action can be removed or not. Okay. When it comes to the add event delay, I don't have the details, so we should ask Kavya about it because users have said that they needed that action. So we need her
Okay.
to document that so that we can understand what is the condition in which add event delay can be shown as an action to the user.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
At
sure.
which
So I will
point,
write them.
when they click, let's say we know that, and then we have an action that is saying add event delay, and user clicks on it. We then do what we just spoke earlier, right? We'd ask them whether you want to apply it at a sub account or a sub account bucket level or something like that, and take the up there.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so, Arvind, shall I, Neeraj already joined, shall I call to Prabhu and Teja?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Neeraj, one thing, meantime, I will ping them. So, what are the things which you are expecting to change in UI or which already discussed earlier?